Hello everyone, so today it's a tutorial for Let's Spend the Night Together, which is a 1966 single by the Rolling Stones. This one, just like all of them, written by Jagger and Richards, but this one was mostly written by Keith, written on the piano, for the piano, so I'll be going over the piano, but played by Jack Nitzsche on the piano with a little bit of Keith Richards. You can tell in some parts that there's a second piano going, but for the most part, if you know the Jack Nitzsche part, you got it down. So, without further introduction, I will take it over to the piano. Alright, so for Let's Spend the Night Together, you start off with a D chord. And then you take your pinky finger and move it from the A note to the B note to the C note. And then you bring it back down, back through the B to the A, so. Left hand's playing the bass note right here, so it's going from that D note to that D note, just playing the octave here. Got a lively bass sound, and then you can go down to the, and you can't really see here, but I'm doing the same exact thing, hitting the G note here, and then you go to the B, and then back to the D. Those are the three notes / chords that you deal with the main part of Let's Spend the Night Together. So, and notice I'm playing the G inverted. Instead of playing like this, I'm playing like this, because it's just a little easier to move from here. Just keep your thumb where it is, and then slide these two fingers from the F sharp and the A to the G and the B note here. So to go. And then you move over to here, which is the B minor. And so after you do the little intro with the D chord, you do a quick 1, 2, 3, 4 with the G. And if you want to play it, simply, I guess you can do the same thing with the B minor. But the guy who's playing piano in this song, Jack Nitzsche, he's doing a little bit of flourish / embellishment here. He's going. Instead of just going, he's going. And sometimes it's. So that's the D note, the F sharp, then back down to the D, then to the B note. And then after you do that, you can either go back up to the D and the F sharp, or you can just hit the chord twice. Up to you. Different. It depends on the verse where they're doing that. Also, it's important to note that Keith Richards is also playing piano on this, except he's just sometimes just doing stuff like. I mean, he's not doing the main piano part, but you hear like some stuff in there that's, how are they playing that? It's because there's a second piano player. So you can't do all the piano parts just by yourself. But you can basically get the whole thing down by playing Jack Nitzsche's part. So, that's the beginning here. Remember, going back and forth here. So that's the verse, how you play the intro and stuff, and then you go into the chorus, which is so it's just that C, and then I guess I don't know why I went all the way down here, but you can do the inversion here of the G as well, a different inversion. D note, or D chord. And then the second part of that is going back to the C, and then the B minor, and then back to D. And the whole time you're doing the same thing, just going back and forth on the octave with your pinky finger and your thumb here. So a simple version would just be the second run through there, I did the more accurate to the recording version, which it's a little bit more difficult than the first run through there. But for that one, you do, instead of just the simple C chord, you go, which isn't that difficult. It's just hitting the C note and then going up all the way to F, and then going back down. Do the G regular, and then the D chord you go, and then you just with your thumb you go C, D, and then hit the chord again, and then you drop back down into the C chord, and then this is when you go to the B minor. Back into the chorus, or not the chorus, I'm sorry, the verse. So those are the two main components to play most of the song. And then there's that break in the middle where they really slow it down, they cut the drums out and stuff, and it goes, you know. And then they pick it up. Go back into the rest of it, but for that you just play the C chord, and this is the only time you really do anything different with the left hand. It kind of gives you a break from just going back and forth constantly, but you just press the C chord and the octaves with your left hand all down at the same time. Then you move to the G chord, the inverted one, where you have B, D, and then pinky finger on G. But you do the same thing, press it all down at once. And then you do that one more time. And then you put your left hand back to work going with the octaves. You know, and then you're doing essentially the same kind of rhythm you're doing with your right hand on the D note, where you go. But you start a verse earlier with the C chord, and you don't really go up into the higher notes. You just go. So you do the same thing with the C and the D there, and then after you picked up the rhythm there, that's when you go back into the D chord and you start doing that little flourish there. And that's basically how you play everything. So. You got all the parts there. You got the intro, which is the same as the verse, and then you have the chorus, and then you have that middle break there, but everything else is pretty much the same. So I'll leave it to you to kind of stitch all the verses and stuff together, but it's really just a repetition of those three parts. And it's, for how good it sounds on piano, it's not really that difficult. So alright, quick run through just so you can get a feel for it here. Obviously, that last part isn't like actually in the song, but I just thought it's a nice way to end it, anyways.